In the endless expanse of the cosmos, where silence dominates and stars emerge only to eventually vanish alone, something extraordinary has just been captured by the James Webb Space Telescope. It is so profoundly alien, so breathtakingly unnatural, that it has left the global scientific community swaying between wonder and unease. This discovery isn't about a new galaxy or a picturesque nebula. It's a turning point of visual so exact, so meticulously composed, that it challenges the core of how we understand the universe's structure. For years, we've launched instruments into the void, hoping the universe would unveil its secrets. But this time, there was no subtle hint, no whisper. The universe shouted through an image, a clearly structured impression embedded in the tapestry of stars. And now, astronomers aren't asking what it is. They're asking who created it. It began during a routine deep field survey. Webb was directed toward a nondescript section of sky, an area previously labeled a void by all earlier observatories, from Hubble to Spitzer. The goal was straightforward: scan for faint energy fluctuations that might signal early galaxies or hidden gas clouds obscured by cosmic dust. But once the raw data started arriving, something stood out. A glow shimmering, not erratic like a starburst, not hazy like a galaxy, but deliberate, like a line traced with purpose. The spectral data showed unusual markers. Expected absorption lines were absent, no radiation leakage, just an unnervingly pure, steady infrared emission. It felt as though something or someone wanted only an instrument capable of peering through time to witness it. As Webb's data was refined, the image clarified into something no one had imagined. What was once noise became form, a pattern. Geometrical exactness in a realm where chaos should rule. Triangles arranged in symmetry, arcs spaced with precision. Mathematical fingerprints, ratios linked to the golden spiral, points aligning. With the Fibonacci sequence, it didn't resemble a star system. It resembled a schematic. At first, researchers assumed an error, a digital artifact, maybe interference from Webb's shielding systems, but repeated analyses all led to the same conclusion: no malfunction, no misstep. This wasn't a fluke. This was intentional. Whispers began to circulate, unspoken questions forming in scientific minds. Had Webb just captured something that was built? Could this be the first recorded instance of engineered cosmic architecture? When the images were discreetly shared among top-tier research centers, the response was unprecedented. Emergency sessions convened at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. The European Space Agency enforced strict access to its astronomical data logs. Private observatories reported visits from unidentified officials requesting original Webb datasets. Official updates ceased. Nothing appeared in public archives, yet rumors escaped. Discussions grew louder on hidden parts of the internet. Independent researchers began connecting the geometric patterns to ancient terrestrial structures, pyramids, ziggurats, sacred configurations. Was this mass pareidolia on a universal scale? Or had we truly seen something we were never meant to? The anxiety stemmed not only from the structure itself, but from the implications if it were real. As scrutiny continued, an even more astonishing possibility surfaced. The object appeared to be emitting a rhythm. Subtle, nearly imperceptible pulses like a ticking mechanism, or perhaps a signal. And these pulses followed prime numbers. Mathematicians quickly modeled the emission. It wasn't static, it was structured, a pattern and order suggesting syntax. If this occurred naturally, it would be the first known instance of spontaneous mathematical communication in the cosmos. But if it did in single quotes it could only suggest one conclusion. This wasn't a monument, it was a message, whether intended for us or someone else remained a disturbing mystery. As decoding efforts escalated, one word repeatedly surfaced in every meeting, every discussion, invitation. Despite coordinated attempts to contain the discovery, the truth began to leak. An image anonymously posted on a hidden forum started circulating, captioned with a chilling note: "It's not a star, it's a signal." Skeptics labeled it fiction. digital manipulation, but those familiar with Webb's imaging technology recognized the filters and spectral composites. Experts verified the image. Then the story exploded across platforms and disciplines, from podcasters to astronomers. Everyone was suddenly debating Webb's transmission from the unknown. The growing public pressure led to NASA's conspicuous silence. That silence only intensified suspicion. Then came a pivotal moment. A well-known astronomer, speaking off-record during a late-night interview, confirmed what many feared. Yes, the image was authentic. No, it wasn't natural. With confirmation out and secrecy lifted, conversations turned to what this meant. One term emerged repeatedly: the Einstein gap, the divide between traditional physics and the bizarre world of quantum phenomena. What Webb had seen didn't behave like ordinary celestial bodies. The structure defied gravitational expectations. It occupied a region where matter should be sparse, yet instruments recorded distortions as if space itself were being reshaped. Some theorists suggested it existed in a higher dimensional construct, that what we were seeing was merely a shadow of something existing beyond human perception. Others argued it wasn't a structure at all, but a doorway, a warp in spacetime. So precise it functioned as a corridor. Suddenly, Webb was no longer just a telescope. It was a key, and it had unlocked something that might not just redefine reality, but extend it. From there, the conversation drifted into even more speculative territory: comparisons with historical patterns across ancient civilizations, from Sumerian to Mayan, from Stonehenge to Göbekli Tepe. The same kinds of geometries and alignments surfaced. In isolated cave paintings, similar symbols mirrored the arrangement seen in Webb's findings. Coincidence, conspiracy, or continuity? Could our ancestors have glimpsed this same structure had they, too, been contacted? Or worse, had contact already occurred, long before Webb's eyes ever opened? Linguists and symbol experts began studying the prime number signal, comparing it to archaic languages. Some claimed to identify linguistic structure. Others found potential instructions buried within the numerical pulses. While mainstream science dismissed these as fringe theories, some academics writing under aliases began publishing speculative papers. They feared for their reputations, but something deeper compelled them: a primal sense that what they saw was real. In time, the question became not only about the image, but the emotional weight of its meaning. This discovery didn't just disrupt scientific paradigms, it unsettled something within us. For generations, we looked to the skies for signs of other minds, assuming they'd be distant or extinct. But what if they're neither? What if they've been here waiting? Not in distance, but in timing. Watching until we could see them, and when at last we built a device capable of piercing the cosmic veil, what did we awaken? For some, this revelation reaffirmed spiritual beliefs, evidence of cosmic design, of intelligence. For others, it unraveled all they thought was certain. Governments held confidential meetings. Military contractors examined the geometries for technological insights. Religious leaders spoke in cautious tones, equal parts hope and dread, but no one had answers. Only Webb, still silently orbiting at altitude, pointing at the darkness that had just blinked back. Then, as global attention slowly waned and the furor dimmed, something new surfaced, something never predicted. Hidden deep within the final batch of transmitted data, a strange fluctuation was detected. A pulse, faint, regular like a heartbeat. It repeated at perfectly timed intervals. Too uniform for cosmic randomness, too intentional to be a system error. Initial theories pointed to residual internal noise from Webb's instruments. But after triple-checking by both NASA and the European Southern Observatory, the source was confirmed. It came from the exact location of the structure. It wasn't residual static, not radiation bouncing off dust. It was a rhythmic broadcast. Some described it as a digital imprint, others an artificial signal encoded in waveform. What truly unsettled researchers was its alignment. It matched timestamps from early Earth transmissions. It was answering the structure, one still and lifeless in the cosmic dark, had replied, not with words, not with light, but with rhythm. And in the universal language of the stars, rhythm might be all it takes to say, I see you too. What started as a milestone in observation ended as a haunting reflection. Webb created too. Gaze backward through time might have done more than see it may have been seen. Its final capture wasn't just an image of ancient light, it was a mirror. And something someone looked back. The pulse in that final data wasn't random. It was methodical, intentional, waiting. As though the universe itself had held its breath until now, we believed we were alone, silent watchers of the stars, hidden behind our machines. But this changed everything, not just our science but our certainty, because what Webb uncovered wasn't just starlight. It was purpose. And with that came a question we might not yet be ready to face. Were we the explorers? Or have we just been found? Now, as the silence deepens after that final beat, one thought persists in observatories, laboratories, and restless minds around the world. This wasn't the end of a discovery. It was the start of a dialogue, and perhaps the most chilling thought of all, we still don't know who or what spoke first.